Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you our next episode. It'll be our episode number 4 of our game of H.P. Lovecraft's Kingsport Festival, a dice placement, area control, Cthulhu type game where we're playing cultists that are trying to take over the town of Kingsport and bring the great old ones out of their slumber and back to the world by invoking their power. So let's get started. I got one little correction to make from the previous video, and then we're going to take our turn. So basically, last turn I cheated our poor yellow player who should have gotten 2 evil cubes instead of 2 destruction cubes. Couldn't figure out why I had so much destruction when I didn't get it for him. So I've fixed that, and that's basically the only thing we need to fix. And then we're going to get right to our turn, which will be to roll our dice for turn 5. So let's get going. And let's see here. We got, man, my rolls are just been pathetic. Look at this. This is just about as ungood as it could be. This is worse than the last one. I don't know if it's the dice or just my rolls. These are those lighter wooden dice. But anyway, you can see that black has a 3, 4, 6, 4, 5, 8, and a 10. So 6, 8, 10 is the best I can do out of a possible maximum of 18. That's pretty pathetic. And that means that black is going to go first, followed by red. And so we're going to change the turn order up there. And then yellow. So let's go to our dice placement. The only thing I can say is at least they're all rolling consistently bad. Anyway, we do have to place our 6 for black. And I think that in this case, he doesn't have any spells or anything. I mean, I think that we're going to take first place the important 5 right there. We're going to get him a spell, and that's right over there. And then the next up will be red with their 8. And we might just, I don't know if we want to break that up or not. He sees that the black player is probably going to place the 1 as well. Because if he goes with 7, that would leave him with a 1. We could go with, if he goes with 4, that leaves him with another 4, so he's out of luck. So I think to play it on the safe side, he's going to take the 8 as a whole right there, and then yellow has a 10, and I think it'd be wise for them to do the same thing. Now he could block the 1 and then take a 9. Would that be beneficial to him? Well, 9 gives yellow a bunch of spells. Yellow has the most magic, so you know what, we're going to do that. So he's going to place his 9 right, actually he's going to place his 1 right here, and that really dorks up black because black wanted to place on the 1. Now they can't, so basically they have to take their last die and place it on the default, which leaves the yellow to place on the 9. That's a good strategic move for them. So let's get into our concession phase and start resolving these now. So up here on this top spot, the 1 that is actually an X because that's our lowest capable roll there. You can gain 1 sanity or spend a resource to gain 3. Well, he doesn't need 3, so he's just going to take the 1 sanity bonus and go up to maximum on the sanity track. Now the black player is also next again right here. He's going to spend a sanity on this 5 here, but he's going to gain 1 victory point, a spell, and a magic. That'll put him at 9 victory points, or cult points. It will cost him that extra sanity he just earned, but he's still more than fine. He's going to gain another magic, so he's up at 4 along with the yellow player. And then lastly, going to take his first spell, and he's going to take a death spell as well for his first spell, because that'll help him against the next raid, help him to understand what he's going to have to do for the next raid. So it says spend 3 magic to gain +2 strength for each death resource you own. That is pretty good. I like that one. That is better than the one that the black player has. Let's review that just so you can see the difference. I think the black player's is just, yeah, see the black player's is not nearly as good. He spends 4 magic to gain 3 strength, but then he loses a sanity, and it's not based on how many death cubes he has. So yeah, that could be really powerful for the black player. But anyway, continuing on, we're going to get our 8 here right now, so that's going to cost red 1 sanity. The red's got the lowest sanity, goes down to 5, but he's still in pretty darn good shape. And for that, he's going to gain 1 death and 1 destruction resource. And that's going to be red's whole dice rolling turn there. And then we have yellow. Now yellow's got an interesting scenario here. First off, he's going to have to spend 2 sanity. 1, 2, and then, you know, I missed his die up here. Not that it's critical, but he did gain an evil cube resource for that. So, but anyway, continuing on, he also gets 2 spells. So, being that this is yellow's, yeah, what do we do there? This is a pretty big turn for yellow. This is going to be his first spells, because the other spell I said yellow, but it actually went to the black player. We're going to take another death spell because we all need at least one of those. It helps with the raids. So what does he get? He gets the incantation of the gates. It says raid, spend 2 magic to gain +2 strength. Very simple. Okay, and then well, wait a second. Yeah, and then the next one I think he'll take a destruction spell. We haven't seen one of those yet. So for his second spell, he takes this one. I'm not going to bother to try and pronounce that Latin, but I'll read you what the spell does. It says turn order. It says during the turn order phase, you may decide not to roll any number of your dice. Gain 2 cult points or 1 sanity for each die you do not roll. Well, that's pretty good. That has some special effect there. But that is it for his spells. Now he's going to gain 3 magic points. 1, 2, 3. Now he's built up some pretty hefty spell power there. And lastly, he's going to get a chance to look at the next investigator. The symbol on his sheet that looks like glasses is the ability to foresee. So he can choose now. He can look at either the event or the investigator. I think we're going to look at the investigator. So the yellow player knows that it's going to be Henry Anthony Wilcox. He's a strength of 4. Man, he's not too wimpy. And he says if you win, you gain a death resource. If you lose, you discard a spell. He's got no skills, but he is a 4, so we do know that he is twice as strong as the last one we dealt with. And of course, the only player that knows that is the yellow player. But that is going to end everything for his concessions. Just a bit of recap. I'm talking about this little looks like spectacle symbols right there that allows him to foresee and take a look at the investigator card. But that is the end of his dice rolling. So now we're going to go to our expansion phase. Now black's up first, but black doesn't have, all he's got is 2 death cubes and a evil. Didn't do very well that turn. So what is he going to do? Let's see. I think, yeah, I mean, it was a really bad turn for him, because remember, he basically lost a die, or took a sanity point for the die. I think what he's going to do, though, is he can expand into the school. And it says there, gain 1 magic each time you place your marker on a level 3 building. That's good, because he's only got 1 level 3 building so far. So that's going to cost him 1 death and 1 evil resource. That will put him up. First off, we'll take his token, and he'll be the first one to place on the school here. That's going to give him 1, 2, 3 cult points. And then we'll move on to our red player. Now red, he's got a slightly, not a tremendously better scenario in front of him because we've been rolling so badly. But he can expand that a little farther if possible. I don't see where he can, though. It looks like he might be going in the same direction. Well, he could. No, he still doesn't have enough. I say he might be able to go here, but he can't. It's red. He's already there, so we wouldn't want to bother with that. But you know what he can do? He can go to the ruins. It says in the order phase, you may re-roll your dice if the result is greater than your sanity. And he's the one lowest on sanity, so I think he's going to go there. It doesn't gain him anything but that ability, and it cost him one evil and 1 destruction resource, which he spends, and now he's on that spot, but that did not give him any victory points. And then lastly, we have our yellow player. Now, yellow player is pretty flush in stuff. He can probably get somewhere decent. He's got, well, you know, he's not here. That would give him that ability, and he's now low on sanity. Or, where else can he go that's interesting for yellow? He could get to the library. It means he's allowed to hold 5 spells, and it gives him 4 victory points. He's got enough resources to do that. In fact, he has enough to go to the newsroom. This says expansion. You may spend 1 magic to gain 1 cult point, or foreseeing. I think that's what he's going to do. So he's going to expand into his first level 3 building right here. And that's going to basically cost him just about everything he's got. Yeah, so I'm gathering up his cubes right now. So here's he's going to be left with a evil and a death cube, but it's going to cost him 2 evil, 1 death, and 2 destruction. And those are all spent and gone, but that does allow him to go there, and also gains him that ability, which is pretty effective. You know, it's automatic. It's like free victory points. Plus, he also gets, I think he's on 6, 1, 2, 3, which puts him ahead of the red player. And this is still the expansion phase, so he's going to spend one of his very high magic points to gain another point. I mean, why the heck not, right? So that is going to end the expansion phase. That was yellow. So basically, this turn, all we have left to do is move the track up 1 more. We're 1 more away from the next Investigator, which the yellow player knows is a strength 4 with no special abilities. So that's going to end our turn, and we're going to wrap it up right there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. We'll talk to you on the next one. Again, this is our playthrough of Kingsport Festival. Again, I said I wasn't going to go through the whole game. We're about halfway through right now. I think this gives you a really good idea of how the game plays out. I'm going to get this posted. If you guys give me tremendous feedback to continue on, I will. Otherwise, we'll move on to some other stuff. I got other things to show you, and I look forward to this. I mean, you guys get the idea how this plays. You'll know now if this is a game for you or not. Being that this isn't a solo or cooperative game, I don't think it's as appealing to watch the whole series, but that might not be true. I just wanted to make sure you understood how to play and what that means. So, anyway, thanks again, and if I get a big outcry to continue on, I will, but otherwise we'll move on to something else. Talk to you later.